So you can see how dark it is in here, but look way ahead. That's the other end of the tunnel, and as the saying goes, that is the light at the end of the tunnel.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now.
Hey, good morning. So today we're in Crozet, Virginia, outside of Charlottesville, and we're checking out the new walkway through an abandoned train tunnel that was built back in the 1850s. At the time, this was an historic event when they built this tunnel. It was the longest tunnel in the world, apparently 1 mile. It was abandoned in 1940, but then just recently opened up this November as a trail that you can go through the tunnel from one end to the other. So we're going to check it out. And there was a lot of history that we'll tell you about as we get a little bit closer. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's check out this tunnel. So we're at the east parking lot. There's an east and west parking lot. And it's about a little less than a mile walk to the tunnel. And then the tunnel itself is a mile long. The path to the east tunnel entrance was made of gravel. It was fairly level with only a slight incline. Along the way, we passed some mountain streams coming off the top of the mountain.
Nothing like a brisk walk in the morning air in the mountains of Virginia.
Hey Steve, kind of reminds me when you ran up that mountain in Austria. Remember that?
Yeah. We can make it.
There goes Steven! So this tunnel was in operation from around 1858 to 1940, and these were where the train tracks used to run. It's now the path leading to the tunnel. So the chief engineer in this project was Crozet, and it was such an engineering feat at the time that it is now a historic landmark. Take a look. After reading the plaque, we headed into the tunnel, but first we took a look at the waterfall at the entrance. So believe it or not, this tunnel was built by hand. There was no dynamite available. They basically chiseled into the granite and stuffed in black powder and exploded the black powder. That's how they, with chisels and black powder, that's how they got through this tunnel. It took them 6 years, and it was never done before at the time. So it's considered, again, an engineering marvel. Now you're probably wondering who did the work. So Irish immigrants came over from Ireland to do the work. Because of the potato famine, they came to the U.S. looking for jobs. So between the Irish immigrants and local slaves from the local farms, they were the ones that labored for 6 years to make this tunnel a reality. All right, let's take a walk through the tunnel. Here we go. Oh, and by the way, there are no lights in this tunnel. It's a mile long, and they do recommend that you bring a flashlight, especially when you get to the middle when it's pretty dark. Hello! So some areas of the tunnel, this is all granite they went through, but some areas of the tunnel did not stay still, and there was some ceiling debris falling down back in the 1800s. So they built, I guess, retaining walls, you would call it, of brick. So you put the light on the brick. They put retaining walls of brick in portions of the tunnel to keep the soft debris from falling through. And you can see the brick right here. This brick is from the 1850s. What do you see here?
So you can see an old blasting hole.
So that's an old blasting hole?
And then if you brush back the debris, you can see all the black
soot,
soot from the
the
old
soot.
locomotives.
Because they're what, steam locomotives, right?
Yeah.
They made a mess. Or coal, I guess coal, steam, yeah. Look at that. So again, the way they blew the granite apart is they drilled, or actually just didn't drill it because there was no power tools. They actually made a channel into the rock by hand, stuffed it with black black gunpowder, and lit a fuse, and boom, there it went. And you can see it right there. See that? See that channel? There's another one over here. So natural water drips down from the mountain above us. And this used to be flooded to some degree before it was renovated as a walking trail. And they put paths along the side to catch the water. And the walking path is up here. It's a little elevated. This way you won't get too wet. You can see over here the water is just coming right out of the rock. Take a look at this. After checking out the water coming out of the rock, we continued our walk to the western entrance. So when they built this tunnel, they started at both ends. And believe it or not, it met up precisely in the middle. It was only off by less than 6 inches. Now that's an engineering marvel for 1850, I'd have to say. At this point, we're about in the middle of the tunnel, and all you could see was the western entrance way off in the distance. So we're approaching the west side of the tunnel, and there's a lot more brickwork here from the 1850s to shore up the tunnel. So it must have been less stable ground, so they had to do brick, as you can see, all the way through. Okay, we're getting close to the western entrance. I can see the light. A group of joggers passed us who were clearly happy to see the daylight. So this is the western entrance. Now there's also a parking lot here. It's bigger and actually has enough room to accommodate buses. The one we parked at the eastern entrance only has about maybe 12 spots. So if you don't want to fight for a parking spot, come to the western entrance. And on the website, I'll put the link below. There are directions on how to get to both parking lots, the east and the west. So one thing on the western entrance, it's a little bit steeper to get up to the tunnel. There's kind of a drop off here. And we must be up higher because there's more snow up here. As you can see, look at the mountaintop there. You can see all the snow. Sue's holding on to dear life so she doesn't slip.
It's icy.
Icy, little icy. Now, not only is the western trail more hilly than the eastern trail, the west parking lot is a little further away from the tunnel entrance than on the eastern side. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Until next time, safe travels.